Hi, my name is Tara, and I'm the client coach at Atticus Family Law. Welcome to video number 4 in this 5-part series on the 5 parts of dealing with conflict, 5 styles of dealing with conflict. In video number 1, I talked about avoiding the conflict or sweeping it under the rug. In video number 2, I talked about when it might be appropriate to accommodate the other person, accommodate that conflict. In the last video, I talked about competing for what you want in the conflict. And today, I'm going to talk about the thing that most people think is the best way to deal with conflict. Right here in the middle of our graph, we see compromise. This is the meet in the middle solution to dealing with conflict. And as you can tell, it is right in the middle. So there is a midline benefit to the relationship, and there is a midline benefit to me or you or the individual. When people compromise, it means that both people give a little and both people get a little. Oftentimes, many people assume that this is the go-to best way to deal with conflict because it does ensure that everybody wins a little bit and everybody gives something up. So there's a sacrifice for both people for the health of the relationship, but both people can walk away from the conflict feeling like they didn't lose and they're not leaving empty-handed. There's absolutely something to be said for this. This is the kind of conflict style that you would want to use if, let's say, that 2 people were fighting over an orange. And both people wanted this one last orange. What do you do in a compromise? You cut that orange in half. Each person walks away with half of an orange. So neither person loses the argument. Both feel like they got something and both feel like they gave up something. So like I said, a lot of people think that this is the best way to go. And this is absolutely appropriate in many circumstances. People want to teach their kids about compromise because the sacrifice that comes with compromise is an important skill to learn, especially when you're wanting to maintain relationships. But as we can see here, compromise is not the only way to deal with conflict. We've talked about these other ones before, and we've said that there are times when it's appropriate to avoid. There are times when it's appropriate to accommodate. There are times when it's appropriate to compete. And yes, there are times when it is appropriate to compromise as well. But if you remember correctly, there are 5 styles of dealing with conflict that I want to talk about in this video series. And so compromise is not the end all be all. Please stay tuned for the final video in this series where I will talk about the 5th style of dealing with conflict to round out all of these 5 styles and finish up the series. Like, subscribe, follow along, and stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching.